Okay, this is test 1, and let's see how it goes. I love you when you're frightened out of your wits. True story, really happened to me. I wrote this to record this. There's many reasonings behind those 3 words, I love you, translated over and over through endless ages of communicating the desire to have that one and only person who has captivated your heart. One of those I love yous gives me the chills. I mean, you know what I mean when I say those words, I love you. Well, the thing is, I love you because, why? Well, anyway, this one is about I love you when you're frightened out of your wits. Yeah. Anyway, one night I remember helping out a stranger in the bar where I worked. She'd missed her lift, not because she was a good girl, but the party went on long after it was over. So I went out of my way to ask a customer, a very good-looking man by the way, to please give her a lift home if it wasn't too much trouble. Little did I know. Of course, me being a paranoid schizophrenic, terrified of people and other people inside my head too, I amassed the courage by summoning all my friends inside my head to please pray for me, as I was just doing something good. God knows what would have happened to her. I think I took her under my wing, as she seemed as frightened as I was. So here goes, I said to myself and friends as I felt the claustrophobia grab at my even breathing and force it in and out to do its own cruel will. And I closed the door of the car and got in. Okay. It was insisted that I sit in the front, as the kind gentleman drove her to her home and then, as arranged, dropped me off at my home, which was within quick walking distance of the bar. But as she had been afraid, I had made this arrangement with her to avoid a sleepless night of wondering if the crazy young girl had made it home. She got out, and then only did I feel the true horror of my predicament. I really didn't know this man, and he was looking at me strangely as he drove off. At every turn I looked for familiarity in the dark landscape, and now and again catching my breath as he turned the car this way and that and edged closer in the direction of my home. Home, I wanted to be home. Why had I agreed to such a thing in my own head? Was I mad? I needlessly asked. And of course all my friends laughed as if knowing my fearful feelings and said, yes, of course you are. You know you are. Anyway, I agreed with them and I tried to relax in the comfortable seat. I mean, it was a luxury car and the seat was comfortable. It was made to be comfortable. Wasn't it designed to be so, I thought. The man was talking to me. I was nearing my stop, my home, and I knew I could make a run for it. I jumped out of a moving car before, I have, and another car that hadn't quite come to a halt, another thing, yes. Anyways, I caught the words, I'm your psycho, he was saying, and I started to pay closer attention. What was this guy saying? I feigned extreme interest in the subject of psychos and told him I'd studied quite a few cases and etc., and my stop was coming closer, and the thought of springing myself free from the prison of the car, because my past experience had told me that should I make just one small wrong move or speak one wrong word, the car would gain speed and the driver would glare at me menacingly with threats coming from his mouth. And yes, if they had a weapon, it would come out. But anyways, in the moment, reliving that horror of having a psycho communicating with me, it was to say priceless to the universe. I listened to him, and all the while my heart was beating a hole in my chest to escape. My stop. There was a hesitation before he tried to pull into the space I showed him. I let out a sigh. I explained to him in delicately placed words as I tried to open the door when the car stopped. Yes, I'd found some patience within me to appear normal. The door was locked. Fancy new cars. Don't like 'em. Don't like 'em. He didn't make a move to open the locks of the door, so I just sat there in the dark, speaking my mind, God only knows what I said, but I only knew that I was an expert on psychos and other criminal minds, and I chatted away. Eventually, I think I got a bit annoyed, and that's why I came right and asked him, who had been telling me about his psycho self, his needs, his stuff, and all that I've happily forgotten, to please open my door. It was late, I wanted to get home. The sound of the door clicked, and I patiently waited and baited myself and walked away, waving friendly goodbyes and stuff as if it was the most natural thing in the world to have one's very own personal psycho. I mean, this guy was saying to me, I'm your psycho. I've done this, and oh God, it was terrible, Anyway, I never remembered his name, and all I know is that he's extremely good looking, and he was the only guy left in the bar with me and that girl who would give her a lift home. Anyway, I wasn't happy with her. I kept thinking, I hope you appreciate what I went through for you. I was only angry at her, but with the psycho I could only feel sorry for him. I didn't know why he was like he was, or could remember anything of what he told me, but I do carry the hurt. I'm not a psycho, really. I'm just damn scared. I'm terrified of everybody, honestly. Maybe he's scared too, of loving women for the wrong reason, maybe. Who knows? But anyways, that's the story. It was terrifying to be stuck in the car there, in the dark, traveling, and not knowing if I was going to get home safely or what this guy was going to do. I mean, it was shitty. Anyways, yeah. So I have a psycho out there, very scary, not nice. So that was the point. The point of the story, actually, as you might remember now, is when people say I love you, why? What do they mean? I love you because I like to see you frightened? No. No, I can't reciprocate that kind of love. I'm a happy-go-lucky person. I enjoy the world. I need the world to be happy and content and doing the best they can. I mean, yes, there's horror. We all know that, but it's not necessary to make another person's life miserable or scare them or something like that, on purpose. Not nice. Anyways, that was my story. I read it so that I could practice with my teeth. So there we go. I mustn't think of my teeth. When I think of them, I get a little bit nauseous. But yeah, so I won't be saying that word again. Anyway, comments most welcome. Please help me. I'm trying to raise money so I can emigrate from my country, which is a little bit of a horror movie itself at the moment. But yeah, it's actually a lot of horror happening. Oh God, all over the world. I wish it would stop. Okay, so hopefully I captured this on camera. Thanks, much appreciated.